I actually got to enjoy being a kid, which is dope. So like for me, like just being in the gym playing, like obviously I got to see the highest level every day, and that definitely helped me. But I didn't rush it, and you know, really the best part about it was like nowadays, you got all the people doing like the YouTube videos showing their workouts and stuff, and like you get to see highlights of it. But I got to see like the work that those dudes put in on a daily at the highest level. And so like it almost makes you uncomfortable because like if you're thinking I'm 9, 10, 11, 12 years old and you see guys in the gym, you realize like they driving these nice cars, they got these big houses, they got all this stuff, but they in here actually like grinding every day. It was like I actually didn't think about it. It was a great message to me that like even at this highest level, they're still working like they don't have nothing. And and that was cool for me because it gave me a sense of appreciation for the journey because and like not taking for granted whatever level of basketball I got to play on because I'm saying if I can make it if they've made it to that level and they're still putting the time in and don't feel like they got it made, like man, what am I doing?
Man, I'm telling you, what people don't realize too is that it's always somebody new coming into the league.
Absolutely.
Right. And so the consistency, no matter what you have, the consistency of what you got to bring to the table each and every day doesn't change.
Pressure, man. 60 guys come in every year. Like there's 60 jobs wide open. You got to maintain your position, and that's not even an every year. That's an every night thing too. Like
yeah. hey, that's why I be trying to tell people. I be trying to tell parents this all the time. Look, man, like you want to see what you got now, right? You want to build the core and character of your kid now, like you're teaching them how to read, write, and multiply. In sports, this is the same thing. Put them in the fire because they're going to have to figure out a way to be consistent. You can't parent your way through this process. Mm-mm. You just can't. Like, if your kid's going to be good based off what they do or what they don't do, or they're not. It's simple.
They need that support. They need the love. They need tough love at times. They need to be, because like no kid has it all the way figured out, and you got to be that presence for sure. But you can't predetermine or hold their hand, through this whole process. Because and that's why you see the guys that come on, get drafted and all that. They appreciate the parents that allowed them to figure it out on their own, but was always consistent with their presence, right? And just found a way to motivate without putting too much pressure on them. There's a subtle balance to that for sure.
How was, and I know we got about, this ends in about 13 minutes, but I want to ask you a couple key ones real quick on these two. How was your transition from high school to college, and then obviously your first couple of years where, I think you had a couple injuries that you had to figure out, but how was that transition? And then how was your mindset approaching both transitions?
From high school to college, it was a lot easier, to be honest. Like I went to Davidson, small D1 school, is 1,800, 1,900 students. We're in the Southern Conference. Our program just graduated 7 seniors. And I loved my coach, and I loved everything that he said about what he could do for me in terms of getting the most out of me on the court, off the court. And so I bought into the vision of like his presence, at the school. And all on top of that, I knew I was going to play right away. If it wasn't going to be given to me, but the opportunity was there. It's a big difference between, handouts and having an opportunity to go and get it. The opportunity was great, and I picked it for a reason, but I had to go grind. But the speed of the game that's the most consistent thing from both sides. It was extremely tough, especially at the point guard position, because you're responsible for so many decisions and trying to make the right play at the right time and balance and scoring for me and shooting, scoring and facilitating. So that on court, that was the biggest adjustments. And then for me, time management was the hardest thing for both transitions because, at school, classes and all that, and you still got to, find that time to work on your game, and the hours are crazy and it seems, daunting at times. You gotta be disciplined about every single step of the way. And then when you get to the league, it seems like you got too much free time, and you got to learn how to stay productive, keep your mind on right, and not start feeling yourself too much before it's deserved. So, man, it's the best thing about it is just having the right people around you, whether it's teammates, whether it's family, whether it's friends or people that are going to be loyal, but also tell you the truth about what you're doing. Like that part, big huge reasons why I felt like I had success on both levels.
Yeah, and I think really the most part is just the kind of person you are. And I remember walking in the gym when I got to Golden State, and it was you and Clay out there shooting the one goal. Then I think Draymond was a little bit further down.
Yeah.
I remember all of this young talent in the gym, and it's rare in the NBA because when you put too much young talent together, that's chemistry for like disaster. But you guys is just different. And when I hear people say things like you ruined the game, I'm like, he gave the game something different than it's had, which created a new part for the game. But also what I tell people like my son who wants to shoot all threes now, or whatever kid, is the level of commitment that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have in their craft is incredible. And talk a little bit about that and just kind of talk about your ritual. I mean, because I know you had a ritual like if it hit the rim, it don't count, right? And I remember y'all telling me, I said, wait, what? If it hit the rim, it don't count. And just tell about that tedious process that you go through.
Sometimes I don't even know how to explain it because it's just a process that I rely on so much, and it's like a feeling of one. I love it, like as much as I love the game and hitting big shots and winning games and all that. Like sometimes you are dead tired, sometimes you're not really motivated, but when you're in that that workout or that shooting session or whatever it is, like I absolutely love it and I get lost in it. And so KD actually talked about it a couple of years ago. He was like, it's so therapeutic in the sense of like when you get lost in your craft and finding like new ways to challenge yourself, to shock your body, to try to get to that next level, whatever it is. It takes some creativity, it takes consistency, it takes commitment. And to your point, like I had that from the jump, but it was only even amplified because I had guys around me that had the same kind of mentality. So like you said, Clay, Draymond, KD, even like Sean and Andre, it showed itself a different way. Like they were so committed to their game, but maybe that was taking care of their body, maybe that was talking to one of the young guys who helped the betterment of the whole team, and on top of the skill development and all that type of stuff. Like everything was disciplined and was intentional and purposeful. So I felt like I've always had that work ethic, but as I got into higher levels of the game, you want to surround yourself with people that you feel like are better than you. Or I shouldn't say that. I feel like I'm better than anybody, but have the talent and the skill to kind of keep up. That are going to challenge you.
Same mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that it'll keep you on edge, really, because you can have this perceived like enemy and competition, all that. But if the guy right next to you wants it as bad as you do, it's only going to come out, in you even more. So
iron sharpens iron.
That's the verse.
Sure. That's for sure. I remember having this conversation. I don't know if you remember this. I remember we were in the practice gym, and I said, Steph, man, and again, I was just blown away because you just typically don't see young teams like that, right? That committed. And I've been around so many great players, played with so many great players, had my run as well. I remember the conversation. I said, Steph, if you take this team and you lead them,
I do remember that.
You're gonna win MVP and y'all gonna win the championship.
I absolutely remember that. And I tell people all the time, that year the year before we had come off the Western Conference semis run to beating the Spurs, and then we came back and we took the Clippers. We were Game 7 in the first round, and like it was a eye-opening experience for one to have a vet give me that vote of confidence, because I was still, like, honestly at that point I'm still figuring it out as a leader, as like the guys I gotta have to be on every single night at that level, and like the pressures and expectations that come with that. But like when you get iron sharpens iron, you get people around you that can bring that out of you, can plant a little seed of something that is your job to kind of take that and make it into reality. Like that was the year that it all kind of clicked and changed. And and not only a message for me, but like that, what you said to me, and then I take that and kind of process it and show it by how I handle myself, the work that I put in and all that, that becomes contagious for everybody else. And like whatever, you might not even say it personally to anybody else, but like you said, somebody take the reins for it and take it and run. That's what I tried to do. And I've had an amazing, journey being, with guys that see the best in me, and the way that I try to lead is try to bring the best out of everybody else. So it's pretty dope to see that come full circle. And now I'm sitting here 12 years or 11 years in, like trying to figure out
it goes by fast too. And I'm gonna tell you, bro, when Steve Kerr got hired, he called me. I remember he had called me. I was outside at my house, and I knew mentally I couldn't do it anymore. But I remember having that conversation. I was like, man, I said, they about to win this thing, because you guys were just, you were hurt and you were angry about the loss. 2 straight years, and that level of talent going at the level they were doing is just I knew it. I almost had like a tear in my eye, because when you won it, I was like, damn, I probably should have went. Probably should have went back for another year. But I was like, all right, it wasn't meant for me.
Hey, bro, I'll have you in the dock one day. I'll have you in there.
I appreciate it. And we got about 3-4 minutes. Hey, 5 years, 5 finals. And then, obviously this year was a tough year, but I look at it as just a break. You guys needed a break physically. Talk quickly on that experience for both 5 years of, 3 championships in 5 years. And then having that the year that you guys had last year, and kind of what you're looking for next year.
Yeah, man, it's exciting times. Like you said, 5 years run. Couldn't imagine that would be, the situation. Forever grateful for the wins and the losses, because it was an amazing experience. And like you said, we wanted to come in this year, prove a lot of people wrong. We had some roster turnover, a lot of young guys. Obviously, injuries happened. Now we're in the suspension, so it's kind of everybody's kind of in some uncertainty. But for us, big picture, like we know we're not done. Myself, Clay, Draymond, the core that's been here from day one. Like we're gonna do everything that we got in our power to. It's gonna look different. It's gonna have some new cast of characters that are gonna contribute at a high level. But the DNA and just the chemistry that us three have we're gonna be in good shape coming out of this, no matter how basketball looks, because it's kind of just wild talking about it, not even knowing what we're gonna play coming out of this virus. So I think I'm excited about it, just knowing where we're at, what we've been through, with all the lessons that we've learned, knowing that we got a lot left in the tank. And yeah, it's kind of like a message for all the young guys and girls out here that want to just hoop and play and compete. Like, it's gonna come back, and what you do now is going to be instrumental and so valuable to what you're going to be, whenever that time comes. So keep grinding, even when nobody's looking. When it's hard, get motivated. When you're at home all day, like, make sure you keep the big picture in mind. What you want to be is only determined by the amount of the good decisions that you layer on top of each other every single day. So use this time wisely as best you can, because it's gonna come back.
Yep. Well, Steph, man, I appreciate you, brother, man. You keep being who you are, which makes you, one of the greatest this world has ever seen. Just keep being the person that you are, man, because you're leading so many people, you impacted so many people, brother. And again, I appreciate you getting on and doing this.
I appreciate you, Jay. All the best to you and your family, and we'll do it again soon, man.
Yes, sir. All right, tell everybody, say what's up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.